this video, we're continuing our discussion about marketing, and our topic is branding. And before I really jump into branding, I want to pick up on something I ended with in our last training video. I want to talk briefly about your ideal customer. We mentioned how important it is that you have a good understanding or a good perspective or picture of who your ideal customer is. Now, this creates tension for business owners many times because they feel like if I identify an ideal customer, then maybe I'm excluding other people. And if I exclude other people, then I'm excluding other revenue opportunities and other ways to grow the company and gain business. And the truth is, you're not excluding anyone when you identify an ideal customer. If somebody comes to you and you have the time, they have the money, and you feel like you can deliver a service or product that is valuable to them, whether or not they're your ideal customer, you obviously do business with them. But when it comes to marketing, it's very important that if you're going to spend time and you're going to spend money to reach customers, you want that to be focused. You want it to zero in on the ideal, the best, the optimal customer or client for you. And so that's why identifying and focusing and targeting on an ideal customer is so important. You're not excluding anyone, but you are just being wise and efficient with your marketing resources, which are typically time and money. So know who your ideal customer is. Have 3 to 5 bullet points that describe them, maybe demographically or psychographically. You know, what is their attitude? What is their lifestyle? Whatever it is that describes your ideal customer, get very clear and focused on that person. You may even want to describe a persona, and if you're not sure what a persona is, look that up, Google it, or pick up a book and read about it, because the better your understanding and focus is on that ideal customer or that preferred persona, the more effective your marketing is going to be for you. Which brings us now to branding. You want a brand that's going to appeal and draw that ideal customer. Now, what is a brand? When we talk about branding, what are we talking about? Many people think of a logo when they think of a brand, or they think of a certain color scheme, a color palette, and all of those things are part of it. But ultimately, what a brand is your promise. What's your promise? When I come to do business with you, what is your promise to me? And it's connected typically to some kind of visual identity. And so I like to say a brand is a visual identity that represents a promise. And I want to know that every time I come to do business with you, I'm going to receive fulfillment on the very same promise. And so that's what's made many franchises such as McDonald's so popular. You can eat at a McDonald's in the United States, or you can eat at a McDonald's in Russia, or you can eat in a McDonald's in Asia. You can eat at McDonald's anywhere in the world, and you know what? It's going to be exactly the same. They fulfill their promise no matter where they are. They keep it. And so that's what a brand does for you. It assures people of what they're going to receive. It is your promise to them. And so some sample promises might be, I promise to be your trusted advisor who can guide you. And that's what you may see. That's what I do for my clients. I'm a trusted advisor who guides them. And the way I fulfill that promise is every time I work with them or do business with them, I deliver on that promise. I build the trust, I give them good advice, and I give them good guidance. Another sample promise, I am a thought leader who can help you learn and grow. That's a promise, and you want to always fulfill that promise when you work with every one of your customers or clients. Another sample promise would be, I'm an expert craftsman who will provide a superior product. And these are actually promises I've worked on with different clients of mine. But I like this one. I'm an expert craftsman who will provide a superior product. That's his promise. And when he creates his brand, his visual identity, He wants people to connect that to this specific promise. And so ultimately, it's a visual identity that represents a promise. So you have a worksheet right now, and the question is, what's your promise? What do you promise your customers or your clients? And it doesn't have to be just one. You might have 2 or 3 or 4 things that you promise. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is how I'm going to add value to you. That's your promise. And that's behind your brand. So create some visual identity that represents that promise and make sure it appeals or it connects with your ideal customer. Now, there are 2 ways to build a brand, and that's what you want to do over time. Excuse me. You want to build a brand, and the 2 ways you can build a brand is, number 1, you can buy a brand. You look at the major brands. You look at a Super Bowl commercial, for example. Large brands pay millions of dollars to advertise and be there. They may or may not get customers because of that commercial, but they get brand awareness. And so you can spend a lot of money and build your brand that way, but most small businesses do not have that kind of resource. And so I recommend that you not spend a lot of money trying to build a brand. Obviously, you need to have simple things like business cards and maybe a brochure or, of course, a website. But beyond that, I recommend that you build your brand the second way. And the second way you build your brand is you earn it. You earn it. Every time you serve a customer or client, you deliver on your promise, and over time, you earn a powerful brand. And that leads us to the last thing I want to mention here, and that is social proof. Today, in the digital world that we live in, social proof has become a huge factor for small businesses. And social proof is simply that way that a potential customer can go online, typically, and learn about you and how you have served other people. Now, there are 4 ways to leverage social proof, and here they are. Number 1 is online reviews. If you don't have online reviews, you want to start building those. Google is probably the best place to begin. If you're in the restaurant industry, you probably want to use other review sources like Yelp or maybe some other they're unique to the restaurant industry. But start with Google, and then there are other directories and other review sites. You want to build online reviews because that becomes social proof to your prospects. They're going to go online, they're going to see what other people say about you, and then they're going to say, okay, I can trust this brand. I can trust their promise. A second way to leverage social proof is written testimonials. They can be hard copy, they can be written testimonials on your website, but written testimonials are a powerful way to build social proof to your prospective customers. And even more powerful than written testimonials is the third way to leverage social proof, and that's video testimonials. Get some of your happy customers to just give a video testimonial of their experience with you and the value they received from your product or your service. And that has a huge impact. Video is maybe one of the most powerful mediums to use for social proof. And then the final way that you leverage social proof is social media. And most businesses today have a Facebook page. Some are using Instagram. Some are using Twitter. If you're in professional services, you're probably using LinkedIn. And there are even other social media platforms. But if you can engage customers and prospects through social media and be able to talk about their experiences and let them talk about their experiences, that's powerful social proof. And the more social proof you build through those 4 ways, the more your brand is going to grow and gain power and gain momentum. So as you think about branding your business, start with this. What's my promise? What do I promise my customers? And then deliver on that promise over time, earn that brand, and use the social media, the video testimonials, the written testimonials, the online reviews to build social proof so that your prospective customers know you deliver on your promise.